What up, this your boy, the solo traveler. I'm back with another live. So this live, I want to do a live with my good buddy, Black Man Travels. So with him, he been to Cuba, and he, after I came back from Cuba, he was like, "Yo, let's go ahead and do a live on this, going over our experience." So that's the reason for this actual live because we want to compare notes. We want to go over um, what he went through before and how, or what I went through recently and how things have changed. So, without any further ado, I want to bring up my good buddy, my good friend, Black Man Travels.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. Like always, it's always a pleasure to work with you and talk about everything all travels. Let's do it.
Of course, of course. Hey, thanks for coming through. It's always a pleasure having you here doing a stream with you. So it's always a great experience.
It's all love, man. Support another Zoe. That's all I'm doing.
That's what's up, man. So how's everything going with you first before we jump into this? What's new with you?
I just been grinding, man, to be honest. I kind of canceled a lot of travels for this year, focusing on doing a lot of networking conferences. Tomorrow I'm doing a 3-day conference here in downtown Atlanta. Then I have a couple other conferences. So money that I was going to use for traveling are now allocated to conferences to network and find other business opportunities. Because, I started my own business. So now I need to grow it. So that's what I'm doing now. But I am going to DR on Sunday. I'm going to Dominican Republic on Sunday. I'm going for for 10 days just to see, the main and take care of business and come back and get back to it again, the grinding mode.
Funny thing is, I'm going to be in Dominican Republic as well on Saturday.
On Saturday? Okay. But you plan to be in Santo Domingo, right?
No, this time I'm going to Punta Cana. So I'm going to go in on Saturday, and I'm actually going to leave on Monday.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround trip. Yeah, I actually leave to Miami on Sunday, but I leave to Dominican Republic on Tuesday. But I'm there for until the following Wednesday. So I'm there for about a week.
Nice. You're going to have a good time as always. And expand a little bit on the business that you open up. What's the business?
Yeah, I decided to start my own. Okay, my background's in tech. I'm kind of like you, but I'm more on the business side. So I decided to start my own consulting services that specialize in demand generation. So basically what I do, I supply my services to the tech companies and how to better sell their software and their business out to the public, mainly B2B, business to business. So I provide different strategies and tactics, how to promote their business and everything else. And tomorrow and Friday, I'm attending the Black Afro Tech conference here in Atlanta. So I'm out there just to network with the software engineers, the big wigs of the black tech world, and just try to get my name out there, man.
Bomb for that one, man. Do your thing, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. I do have a website. It's called Always On Marketing Solutions. Again, besides Black Man Travels, I'm just kind of busy trying to do both, man. Promoting Black Man Travel, but also promoting my new marketing agency side as well.
Awesome, man. I like that. Same here. Almost same thing with me as well. Doing my business as well as continue with the IT, and that's kind of what been slowing things down for me with YouTube is because of my IT career. Now things been starting wrapping up. So to all you guys that have noticed that I haven't really been doing a lot of lives, is because been spending a lot of time just my day job. Dealing with your day job that takes more importance. So
I agree.
Well, first I want to say what up to the people that first came in, and also to the first donation. I want to say what up to Milano, the travel vlogger. So thanks for coming through, and what up to Bert Ross saying good evening, everyone, and gotta give the bomb for the $4.99. and every time, whenever you guys donate or anything, you guys will see the little girl in my corner dancing. So if you guys want to see the girl dance, go ahead and donate. Bands to make her dance. You know how that goes. So all right. So what I want to do is let's go ahead and start with the whole main subject of Cuba, because from what you deal with from the last time that you went to Cuba to what I deal with now, and same thing with me, I know it's a big difference. There was a big difference from, I guess, 4 or 5 year span of me being in Cuba. So explain to me your experience of what you dealt with when you went down there, and then I'll follow up with my experience.
Yeah, definitely. When I decided to go to Cuba, it was this is back in February 2017. So this is when Obama lifted the embargo up, and I saw an opportunity to go. So I bought the first ticket out of Miami, out of Fort Lauderdale. Bought a ticket on JetBlue, purchased my visa at the airport, and went to Havana. And that was my first time in Cuba, and it was a whole different experience. Again, this is 2017. So this is before Instagram, before the big Facebook world, worlds that knew about what's going on. So I had the opportunity to really experience Cuba on a very authentic level because it was so still brand new. The embargo just lifted, so people were just starting to go. Like Americans were starting to go to Cuba. I mean, granted, Cuba was still getting Europeans, Chinese, Canadians, but when I went, the embargo just lifted. So I was like one of the first few Americans out there, and it just created an amazing experience that I'll never forget.
That's awesome. I know that feeling as well because I remember when I went out there right at that time. That was before a lot of Americans was going out there. Although Trump did close the border somewhat, it's still somewhat feel the same as before. Just that one thing is that I noticed that a lot of other people from the Caribbeans, they still been going out there. Like when I was out there, I met a lot of brothers from like Grand Cayman Islands, whatever, that actually had girlfriends and wives there, and their ticket was on like $200 just to go back. Just to go back and forth for round trip.
Well, I'll tell you this, ORD, my ticket to Cuba from Fort Lauderdale Airport to Havana on JetBlue, my ticket was only $195 round trip.
Oh, nice. I wish. Mine's coming out of Chicago this time around was about $500-$600.
Wow.
That's how much it hit me. The funny thing is, it was actually cheaper than going to Colombia because I remember in the past, it used to be cheaper to go to Colombia than to go to Cuba. Well, of course, things have changed. A lot of people are going to Colombia, so you know how that goes.
Well, you know what? The only thing Trump changed is that you cannot travel to Havana to Cuba based on people to people. That little short description, that what really changed. Everything else kind of remained the same. And also to like you were not allowed to bring cigars back, rum back. When Obama did it, I think there was no limitation as far as how many cigars you could bring back and how many bottles of Havana rum you could bring back. But when Trump came in, he kind of put a limitation on that. And also he changed the description of people to people to something else.
Yeah. One thing I could tell you, man, I just say this to get around all that stuff of them trying to expect you. If you have a global entry, they're not gonna mess with you. I can tell you that. when I came back to global entry, this is wild because those of you that actually fly into Miami, you all know that the custom officers, immigration, that they will drill you no matter what. Well, this time around, when I walked up to the global entry station, I took off my cap. And it read my face, and I didn't have to put any information in there. Usually, you have to put your passport in there for it to scan.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, whoa. So then I walked through. They didn't even have an agent there to even, ask me questions. So as I walking through the snake, the guy who was actually taking care of the mobile app passenger, he just stopped and said, "My name, that's you, right?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "Have a good day."
It's funny how, because I do fly to Miami a lot. Before I got my global entry, I used to get stopped every time. And I'm like, guys, I'm 6 foot, 260 pounds. Why the hell am I carry drugs on me? I stand out from the rest of the Hispanics on the damn plane. But now that I got my global entry, dude, it's just in and out. I'm in and out. Just grab my stuff, go. And I don't get harassed as much as anymore versus in the past.
One thing I want to bring up, since you went with JetBlue, how much was the visa? Because I do want to tell people about purchasing visa on airlines, because I flew American. I usually fly American every time I go to Cuba, and there is the highest when it comes down to visa. So if you go through American, it's $100 straight.
No, well, when I went through JetBlue, again, this is 2017 now. I think I paid about $35 or $45.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, they're talking about 35, 45, 50 or so. It's still the same. The visa is still the same.
Yeah. So, and that's it. Once you fill out that form, you pay that visa, you arrive in Cuba, man, dude, it's open season. It's time for you to have fun. Have a great time.
One thing I found kind of interesting, maybe I forgot about this, is that when I got to immigration, they actually had someone helping them out, asking questions. So they wanted to get all the information, all the facts from you of where you're going to be staying,
Yes.
how long your trip is, and who you staying with, all that information before you even get to the officer. So I'm not sure if you experienced that last time. I don't remember that.
Um, maybe okay. If anything, I had someone to help me fill out the form,
Okay.
and they asked me a couple of questions, but that's about it. It wasn't nothing strenuous to the point where I'm being harassed with tons of questions. It was just like a couple of questions. You're good to go. I showed them my Airbnb location. All right, go enjoy yourself. And I remember that day because I was like one of the few black folks going on that plane, and it was an interesting ride. It was very turbulent. It was a quick 60-minute flight,
Yep.
and it was very turbulent, man. Like literally, it was just I was kind of sweating a little bit in the plane.
Interesting that you usually go up and it feels like you're going down right quick.
Yeah, and that's the thing because they said due to the short distance from Fort Lauderdale and Havana, they can't go too high, so they had to stay at a certain point. But you could actually feel the plane throughout the whole entire 60 minutes. I'm like, the plane is turbulent and everything. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But I got there safe.
When we left out of Miami this time around, we actually hit a storm.
Ooh.
And funny thing is, the pilot, he said we ain't going around the storm. He went right through it, and you could hear the engine revving up. I'm like, what the hell? And everything. You know how Miami, you always got those storms coming through around one.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
so actually, we hit one of those, but that was an interesting experience. My first time experiencing that one. But but one thing I'll say is that once we went through immigration, for me, I didn't have any check-in luggage. I just had a carry-on, and what I noticed instantly is that a lot of the cars change, especially with taxi. They had a lot of the newer yellow taxis when I first exited out of the airport, which was kind of interesting. That's the first difference that I noticed. But of course, those taxis were charging the most. So they were charging in dollars, and they were saying $30 from the airport to Habana. Downtown.
I think I paid about $20, and it was the yellow taxi. But sometimes, guys, when you arrive in the airport, you just gotta go ahead and accept it and deal with it, and just understand that as you maneuver around these cities, you could actually negotiate a lot better. But when you arrive, don't try to negotiate with the yellow taxi man. Just pay it, get to your destination safely.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is, how everybody got the hustle that the taxi, the actual manager or the owner of the taxi, whole setup, he was trying to, sell us or at least change the money for us. And I'm gonna tell you guys this, at this point, I've, everybody I actually ran into, they're asking for dollars. So the rate that he's giving, which was I believe 130 times 130, which isn't the greatest. I know that the government is charging about 110 or 120, somewhere around there. He's charging a little better, but it's still not the best. You want to look for someone that's charging about 180 if you're going to change your money. But after my first night, I was like, there really is no point in me changing my money because everybody wants dollars. So
let me ask you this: is their currency? Do they still have the two currency, or is it just one?
yeah, they still have the two currency.
So the coup and the kook.
Yeah. And of course, you only got the pesos. That's what the only thing I received. But I was like, whatever. Of course, this time around, I didn't want to visit any family, anything like that, because I knew that if I would have visited family, I wouldn't have any extra, footages. Like that. So nobody knew that I went out there.
Yeah, definitely. When I went there was the two currency, and I think that we took the tourist currency, which is the coup, and there's the kook, which is the local currency. Mm-hmm. And once we got into the city, we were able to get better rates in exchanging our dollars for the currency. So that's something we learned.
Yep. Shout out to the Flyboy Way. Thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, so of course the ride from the airport is still that long ride to get to the area that you're gonna be at. See, for me, I stayed at the Rodado. I stayed in the area I like to stay at where all the locals are at. But I think that you stayed at a different area.
Yeah, I stayed in Havana, in old Havana. Like, I could share a picture where I stayed, if you mind.
Yep, yep.
Let me
I
pull
can
up.
bring that up. And while you do that, I can share some of my videos that I have from Hold Havana as well. Yeah, because I went this time. The funny thing is, I only spent about roughly a day in Old Havana. There it is. Let me bring this up here.
Yeah, this is where I stayed, guys. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, yep. I can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. This is from my balcony, and this was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in Old Havana. I was literally in the mix of things, man. Like, literally, I was in the mix. And I only paid about $50 a night with free breakfast. So every morning, the host will cook me breakfast, and she'll clean up the room or whatever. And it was a great experience. And the thing is, I wasn't too far from the Malecon, I could literally walk to the Malecon like 5 minutes from where I'm staying. So, but like, literally, when you open that door on the balcony, you hear Cuba. You hear the life of Cuba every morning until night. And sometimes it's so pitch black when you're walking through here. It does get a little scary, but you're safe.
Yeah. I agree. Here, I'm gonna share my video as well. Let me present. Oh, my fault. Just change on me. Here. Yeah, bear with me here because it's been a while. So if I actually been using, oh, you know what? I didn't share with audio. Hold on a moment. See, some of the technical stuff you kind of forget about when you ever done lives.
Yeah.
Here it is. So, got the same picture there.
Yeah, it's a nice. This seems like the same area where I stayed.
It might be the same block. I was actually staying at this actual restaurant or this bar. This is like the only bar that I found that had free Wi-Fi. So, because you know how when you walk through the streets in Cuba, and a lot of people are stopping you, the first thing to say, American, you know, trying to get your attention so they can hustle you. So the funny story is that once I got to this block, and this guy was starting to talk to us, you know, using that regular American, you know, that's when you get the, here we go. So, you know, he's talking to us, and he's trying to say that I look like 50 Cent. And I'm like, nah, man, whatever, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, and then finally at the end, because I'm like rushing him, like, you know, I got somewhere to be, you know, I'm trying to not have this conversation. I know you're going to try to sell me something. Audio messed up? Here, hold on.
Yeah, your audio, since you put the video up, it kind of went up.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot better.
My fault, y'all. So, with the story is that so he was going through the whole thing of trying to say I'm 50 Cent. I'm trying to, you know, hurry up in the conversation so I could keep it moving. And then finally he was like, yeah, at this bar, you know, it's free Wi-Fi. I was like, what? Like, you should have said that first. You know, we would have had a good conversation.
You know what, Solo? I actually enjoy going to the Wi-Fi parks. That's where I met a lot of the lovely ladies, man. Like, we went into the Wi-Fi parks. We bought the Wi-Fi card to use on your phone. And that's where I actually met a lot of the lovely ladies. And yeah, that was my go-to spot. Just go out there for a little minute, check my emails, whatever. Then if I see something that catches my eye, shoot my shot, man.
Funny thing is, as we were walking around, me and my boy, like, women was giving us the eye, like a lot of eyes, that it was so easy for us to walk up to them and just, you know, chop it up with them this time around. Now, the first time, it wasn't like that. First time around, it was kind of like, you know, people like, you know, doing their thing, whatever. You know, they probably thought that I was, you know, that we're Cubanos from there. So it was actually this time around that they were actually looking at us like, you know, you guys don't look like you're from here or whatever. So
they knew. They looked at me. They knew, like, no, you ain't from here. It was just like, they looked at me like, oh, you're not from here. And it was just all love, man. It was, especially when I brought the boxing gloves, but we could get to that later. Let's follow your structure. So.
No problem. Hey, we could actually lead it to that if you want to, since there's a segue.
Yeah. Well, guys, I do box as a hobby. I asked my trainer, hey, listen, do you have any boxing gloves? I'm going to Cuba. that I could donate because Cuba is huge on the boxing scene. So what he said, you know what? Hey, listen, man, I don't want to give them old gloves. I got some gloves. I want to send some new gloves, some new equipment, some new shirts. So he gave me 2 large duffel bags of nothing but great equipment. So when I checked it in at the airport in Cuba, dude, they found out what I was doing with those gloves. They were so happy about that. They actually expedite the service to get me to the taxi faster. And when I got to the boxing gym, it's Raphael something. I can't pronounce the last name. I came there. I donated the gloves. They were super excited. I have a video. You mind if I share?
Yeah.
Share entire screen. This is one of the kids. This is one of the kids that I actually bought the gloves for. So this is the gym that I trained at, the gym. And my trainer actually gave me like about 40 boxing gloves, headgear, t-shirts, mouthpieces, everything. And I brought it out to these kids because this gym catered to the youth. So I brought it. They embraced me. The community embraced me because once the community found out what I was doing, dude, I got so much love, and I got invited to a lot of private events. So this is one of the boxing sessions that we did. And this is what basically the equipment. He's wearing the t-shirt that I brought, the bells, the whistle, the headgear I brought, the boxing gloves. So they're gonna do a little sparring session.
Like that.
Yeah. So when I did that, when I tell you the community embraced me, like the owner of that box club is a former Olympic boxer. He informed the community. Next, you know, I had access to areas where tourists would never go. So while I was there for 7 days, I was invited to like the Black Salsa Festival, which is outside the city. I was invited to like people homes for dinner, and again, I got access to a lot of people, and it was a great time because I did something, you know, generous, and they felt like, you know what, you're one of us. We appreciate what you did for the kids. You know what? Anywhere you go, you got any problems, come to me because they know who he is, and from there, there's nothing but love, man. And again, I met a lot of beautiful women.
Man, what you be?
I ain't paying a goddamn thing either.
One thing I would say, man, I love the fact there was so many beautiful Cubanas. This time around, I had a chance to really see a lot. And as I've said before in the past, this is where you'll find all the beautiful Afro Latinas. I'm sorry,
Right.
I have to say this. To me, I think that they're more beautiful than the Afro Latinas in Colombia. I think they're more beautiful than what I've seen in other countries, in Peru, Panama, Mexico. I mean, I think that them and DR about they're about Thai. That's the way I look at it, because I was just like, every time I go there, I just fall in love.
I actually came across a Taino girl, 6 feet tall. Her grandparents Taino, like she from the countryside. 6 feet tall Cuban chick. Never seen that in my life. Gorgeous. Her hair reached all the way past her butt. And when I mean gorgeous, it's just like, wow. Cuba has it, man. Cuba's a sleeper, man. But guess what? I don't want to blow it. I don't want to blow up the spot because I don't want no foolishness.
Yeah,
coming to Cuba. So I had a great time there, man.
Funny thing is, the only 6-foot Cubana that I've ever met is my stepmother. She's the only one I ever met. That's tall. Now, as I think about it, as I'm in Cuba, I don't even see them that tall.
No, they're not.
Which is so interesting. But here's a good dynamic. One thing I noticed about when it comes down to the people, I don't know if you ever noticed that the men, they're bilingual. They speak Spanish and English,
Yeah.
but the women, they only speak Spanish, which is kind of strange because usually it flip flop in all these other countries. I don't know if you ever noticed that. That is usually, the males that only speak Spanish while the females is bilingual.
Well, you have to understand, Cuba has a huge tourism. So a lot of Canadians speak English. A lot of Europeans speak English. So they come to Cuba for their summers. And guess what? The guys are out there hustling, out there working. So they're probably more exposed to the English influence versus the ladies.
Yep. I can see that. Let me give a shout out to Jay Clyde in the building.
But
That nowhere.
I'm I'm gonna tell you this though, by you putting the community first in Cuba, they actually gave me a lot of access to a lot of different places, guys. Again, if you're in a position to give, bring something, man. Because again, there's a lot of communities outside the U.S. that would definitely appreciate the things that you do. And again, it could be some box of old clothes you don't fit anymore, you don't need anywhere. Instead of dropping off in Goodwill, put it in the suitcase and bringing it with you. Trust me, they'll be more grateful towards those outfits that you bring into them versus you dropping off in Goodwill and they're gonna resell it for probably a lesser price. So that's something that I try to do.
Yeah, that's all facts right there. Yeah, they would really appreciate everything. Because one thing that a lot of people don't know is that the average Cuban only makes about $15 a month. So, with that being said, whatever you do for them, whatever you can help them out, they will be graciously appreciated of that. They will like that.
Yep.
So, and one thing I'll say about them that I love, especially dealing with the men that are hustling, they're not begging, they're just hustling. So it's not like, you go to so many other countries where a lot of dudes are begging you for money. No, they're just trying to sell the service to you, and that's how they're gonna make that extra money.
Yep.
They're not sitting there in your face trying to beg you, which is
I,
also a great thing.
I'll tell you that I had guys that tell me, "Hey, can I get the shirt that you wore that you're wearing?" And what I did before I left, I gave a lot of my clothes that I brought with me. I gave it away.
Nice.
Even pair of sneakers that I brought, like I brought a couple of sneakers with me, I gave one away. And it was just like, you know what? If I could help someone in the process, so be it. Because all that I could buy back. When you create an experience, you create a relationship with someone overseas, that's something that they'll never forget. And to this day, the same people that I met in 2017, we're still friends on Instagram. Now they find me on Instagram, they find me on Facebook, and I still talk to them.
What's funny, interesting, that we actually met someone who we talked to, and this person said that the shoes that they had is the only pair of shoes that they had. So I was just like, a little bit blown away by that, which I could understand why it could be like that. I think they may have like sandals, whatever, but like for like gym shoes, only type of gym shoes they had. People, we take that for granted because especially here in the States, and a lot of people, they have like 3 or 4, even 20 different pairs of sneakers. You got someone only has one. So, just be thankful at the situation that we have here, especially in the States, because that could be you.
Yeah.
Many words.
I mean, you have Haitian, you have Cuban. Hey, save that comment for last. Don't show it up yet. We could go ahead later. I want to make sure we stay on focus. Then we could come to these two dumbass comments. Us being immigrants ourselves. You're Haitian and Cuban. I'm Haitian. We come from countries that is poverty. So you understand that. Hey, I'm in the States. If I'm in a position to help, I'm gonna help. If I'm not, then I can't. My thing is like don't make me feel bad or pressure me to help. Because when I do help, I help graciously without with no regrets.
Yep, exactly. And for me, I actually feel good helping when I leave the country because I know that these people in these other countries, they don't have any type of assistance from the government.
I agree.
Of course, Cuba, they have the communists, which is, they do get a budget of money, but it's not enough to live, a good life or live decent. So that's why I don't mind giving, especially, to Cubas or to anybody in any other country. Now, whenever I see the signs, people here in the States saying that, that they need money and so forth, I'm a little skeptic because I'm like, there is so many programs out here that help people out. And, it's like, It's so many opportunity for jobs. you know, I mean, there's a reason why we have a big immigration influx. I mean, although I understand you don't want to do that job, but you better go do something to get that money. The way I look at it, because I know I would be doing that if I wasn't in the situation I was in right now. I would be out there picking the corn or doing the farming stuff or whatever I could do to feed my family. But I know how it is with Americans. A lot of us.
We're privileged. We're overprivileged.
Yep.
But you know what? Let's take this to a more brighter note, because again, Cuba is a great time, guys. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to anybody that have their own perception. Look, I had an amazing time. And again, we can't say this enough as far as the talent that is there is second to none.
I'm sorry, I gotta bring this up. I knew what I was. So he said he went to Cuba. Wasn't good. Nightlife is horrible. Well, I guess I'll start off first. Okay. I'm gonna say this: every person have their own experience, depending on their level of travel and then their personality with people. I can tell you this: I had a blast. But of course, I speak Spanish, so when I went there, nightlife. Yo, I loved it. I love the fact that everybody was dancing, men and female. It was so easy for me to find someone to dance with. All I did was introduce myself, and basically ask if they wanted to dance, and we were out there on the dance floor having a good time. See, I would show those videos, but I don't want to show those videos. So I'm gonna leave it at that. They just say that, it all depends on each person's experience. I've heard from a lot of people that don't really speak Spanish well that they had a horrible experience, while people that speak Spanish well that they have decent or good experience. So I think I'm
gonna say this: I'm at 2017. My Spanish wasn't there yet. I had amazing experience. Again, I was presented an opportunity to go where the locals go and party, and I have some content I want to share with you, with your audience.
Yeah, let me know when it's ready.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it all depends on each person's experience. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up right now.
Yeah. So this is like the salsa festival. Nothing but black Cubans here. Nothing but black Cubans. And I literally danced until 5 a.m. They had food, drinks, everything, super cheap. And you get access to everybody. This was a weekend festival, Saturday and Sunday. And during the daytime, everyone chilling in the Malecon. So I was in the Malecon chilling, having a great time. And also, and the other thing too, we actually went to another place where during the day we're chilling with more Afro-Cubans, celebrating their culture and their history and everything else. And again, at the end of the day, you determine what type of experience you want to have overseas. If you don't do your research or plan accordingly or try to mingle with the locals, then yeah, your experience is not going to be the same as my experience. But for me, I had an amazing time. So it's just like even going to Calle 23, going to Miramar, I hit up all the upscale lounges and clubs. Dude, I had a great time. No issue.
Yep, same here. And I'm gonna show you this quick little snip. For me having a good time, doing salsa. I'm not gonna play the audio because the music. But you can see that, hey, as long as you can dance salsa, as long as you enjoy yourself, I'm telling you, it's easy. It's nice out there. So you ain't gotta worry about not having a good time. But that's much I would show.
But let's keep it a buck. I mean, your experience will not be the same for someone who just went there without preparing. You are a bona fide traveler, ORD. So someone that's just showing up thinking that, hey, I'm going to have the same experience that I had in Sosua or at the clock tower in Cuba, you're not going to find that. You got to do your research. You got to plan accordingly and do some work. Go out and mingle, talk, smile. This is like guys forget like, well, I'm going to post up on the wall. They got to come to me because I'm American. Like, no, you still got to go out there and socialize.
Have a good time. Yo, I'm going to tell y'all this. I've had the best time. I'm sorry. No, I'm going to take it back. One of the countries I love to go to have a good time is Mexico. I always have a good time every time I go there because their clubs, discos is great. Like meeting people, dancing with women. I've always had a great time there. Crossing the border to Sonora, Nogales. I've had a great time. CDMX, I've had a great time. All these different places, even in the tourist areas. So it's how you make it. That's one thing I'm gonna say. And another one, he said this one thing. He said it wasn't bad. I just want to go back. I've been to Colombia and Brazil, so I guess I'm spoiled.
No, you're not spoiled. You're not spoiled. Sorry, you're not spoiled, buddy. It's just like the thing is you can't adapt. Just say that you can't adapt to certain countries. So Colombia and Brazil is you probably went to what Medellin, Cartagena, Colombia. Brazil, you went to Copacabana, so you're used to being catered to. So you can't go to another place where you're not catered to it and put in work. That's all it is.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Colombia.
Yeah, same here.
10 cities or so, and man, tell you, man, it's how you make it. It's definitely how you make it. So, it's how you put yourself out. Even in Colombia, I've had a great time, especially with the wife and so forth. So I always make sure that, no matter where I go to, I'm going to get it in.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of guys don't realize they try to compare these cities with other countries. It's like, you cannot do that. Just go out and have a good time. Stop comparing. Go enjoy the experience of that culture of that country. That's it. Stop comparing, because if you do that, then you're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah, that's facts. You can't compare. You gotta take it for what it's worth for each country, because each country has their own culture, their own situation, how they do things and everything. So that's one thing I definitely would say. Like you said, I agree. As I piggyback off of that,
Now, this person saying they don't like black men. Do you understand Cuba is half black? Like.
Well, there's more black people in Cuba than you'll find in Miami that's Cubano. Just say that.
That's why I was like, dude saying they do not like black men. They favor European and Indian men more. Half of the country is black. What the hell are you talking about?
I was getting a lot of play when I was there. Me and my boy, like, walking down the street, women giving us the eye, and we're like talking with them. Like, we're getting numbers like crazy. They're trying to take our numbers. And my boy, I think he walked away with at least about 15 girls trying to talk to him, in a span of 4 or 5 days. So, and he's just about the same complexion as me, a little bit lighter, just a tad bit. He's caramel. And I tell you,
I'm dark. Look, I'm darker than you, and I got a lot of love out there.
Yeah.
So, there's what it is.
The only time when I did not get play, I would say this, is when I was wearing make myself look like I was actually Cubano. So I had this nice little Miami button-up shirt, little color green, I think like a little greenish, bluish or whatever. So when I noticed that, people looking at me like, nah. That's when I changed and went back to my gringo style. So it's like I said, man. It's how you present yourself and how you hold yourself while you're there. It's very important.
Yeah, and that's what it matters. And again, like what Jay Clyde just mentioned, comparison is a thief of joy, and it's true. Stop comparing. Go out there and experience the culture for what it is. I mean, I went to El Salvador. I went to Ecuador. That's not Colombia. That's not Brazil. But I still had a great time.
Yeah, that's how you make it. And I'm going to El Salvador real soon. Might be in 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So after I come back from Rome, so I'm gonna go to Rome in about 3 weeks. After I come back from DR, so I have that whole thing all planned out.
But I mean, overall, I had a great time in Cuba, man. It definitely gave me a whole different appreciation of what. It's funny because I live in Miami, so I was raised around Cubans, but I was raised around white Cubans, and they kind of painted this picture of what Cuba was. Then you get to Cuba, you realize half the country is black.
Yeah,
it's like, what the hell? That was a shock to me. Then you realize, then you learn the history of how they treated the black Cubans in Cuba, and how they purposely kept the black Cubans away from Havana, kept them in the countryside with no access to education or healthcare. It was Fidel Castro that came in that gave these Afro-Cubans an opportunity to learn and get medical attention, and that's why to this day the Afro-Cubans will always be loyal to Fidel Castro.
Exactly. And basically, when the whole thing switched over to communism, only it was the light-skinned people that fled the country, because those were the ones who had the money. Those were the ones who owned those hotels and all those places. Those are the ones that are upset after Fidel Castro took power, because they felt that they got robbed. You know, after building the country off the back of black people.
Right.
So,
and here's the thing: before Fidel Castro, there was another dictator no one doesn't want to talk about, Batista. Batista kept his foot on the necks of Afro-Cubans. He denied them education. He denied them health care. He kept them away from all the major cities. Like, he was a bona fide racist. And guess who benefit from it? All the lighter complective Cubans. They benefit from it, while all the Afro-Cubans didn't get nothing. So when Fidel Castro came into the mix, and again, guys, when you go to these countries, man, take a history lesson. Find out what the true history that goes on in these countries, man. All this stuff that we hear on the American side is all BS. When you get to that country and you hear the real deal, it changes everything. That's like now when I see, again, I'm from Miami. When I see, you know, the lighter complected Cubans complaining, like, yeah, you guys had the good life in Cuba, while the Afro-Cubans had no privilege, no opportunities.
Yeah, they're pissed off. That's the thing about it. You know, luckily I was fortunate. My family was able to come on over from Cuba, but they're not light skinned. You know, they're basically that mixture caramel complected Cubano. So I was kind of surprised after going there and going back and forth and seeing it. I'm like, okay, like the fact that they're able to make it over. And I'm first generation Cubano y Haitiano. So, you know, same thing. My mother, she's straight from Haiti, you know, or Haiti in English. So she came at a young age, I think about age of 13, 14 or so. So the interesting, you know, backstory of my family. But, you know, to get back on Cuba, you know, I would say this, you know, for those of you that's looking for to learn about culture and to see differences from what we're used to being in the United States and being in another country that's a bit different, especially a closed-in country, definitely go check out Cuba. My first 24 hours being there, which is what everybody's upset about, is about internet access. So at my Airbnb, we actually had internet, but it wasn't working the first 24 hours. It started working the second day we were there. And I can tell you this, that was actually a blessing because it gave us the opportunity to unplug.
Thank you.
The culture.
I was just going to say that, guys, when I was in Cuba for 7 days, the only time I had access to the internet when I went to the park. But really, my friends and I, we were having so much fun. We completely unplugged.
Yep.
And it was just like, you know what? We went to the internet park just to hook up, like find some talent. Like, hey, let's go out and have some drinks. And but man, sometimes, guys, it's good to just unplug and not check in what's going on social media. We'll check what's going on your email address. Go out and enjoy your travels, man. Take it all in. You don't need to be constant on Instagram, TikTok, checking what's going on in the States while you're on vacation. Sometimes just unplug.
Showing up.
It's your first time in Cuba?
You know.
Oh?
But I got a video, you know, show of some of the tours that goes on in Cuba. Here, I'm actually bringing it up here. So
yeah, I got one too, so I can share that with you guys.
Here it is. I'm just trying to get it queued up. Here we go. This is actually a nice video. Present this here. And it's gonna be, and again, no audio because of the fact that you guys might still hear the audio. I don't know, but the way I have my system set up, I have it set up that you can still hear the audio. But this is a nice little video of me riding through Cuba in one of those classic cars. I believe this is a Chevy 1955 Chevy box body or so. But here, check this out. Let me bring this back a little bit. Yeah, so don't mess up the audio. But yeah, that's just, you know, you can see how everything is set up. Everything is still stuck in like the 1960 view as far as the colors and things like that.
Actually, you know what? I can share something with you guys as well. Oh, come on.
Yeah, so we did a tour. We went all around, and man, Habana, yeah, man, it's bigger than what I'm used to from the last time I went.
This is a one of these pineapple cars that I did.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, I was driving all around the Malecon. This is the Malecon on the left side, and again, this is what Cuba looks like, man. And I had a great time, bro. A lot of great memories, man. I actually got this one as well. This is before we got to the place to rent the cars, and each of us got into a car. I think I got this one over here.
Okay.
It's convertible as well. We got in the back, took some pictures, and that's about it. But I remember coming here. We paid the guys to give us a tour on one of these classic cars, and that's it.
Yeah, the one on the left is the one that I actually rode in. But
okay.
But I do want to tell everybody there is different ways for you to move around in Cuba. You don't have to just have taxi. So there's like other different forms. Like I'm gonna show you guys. They actually have a train on the Manicon that you can actually use to get around. Let me share the video.
That's probably new. I didn't see that when I was there.
Yeah, I did it from the other time, but now.
Yeah, that's new. I didn't see that.
So I'm sure that's for like a cheap price or so. So they have the train. They have the regular old school taxi cars, which about $2 million, which is the equivalent of $10. They also have little mopeds, those banana cars.
Yeah.
They also have like those old school pickup, small little trucks that you can ride in the back, and that's even cheaper too. So so many ways you can move around, or you could talk to someone who's actually off the block, and you could pay him about 1,500 mil, to take you back and forth. So
and that's what we did. We saw like local smaller taxi drivers, paid them $5 to take all of us. They'd take us back. And guys, like if you go into the nightlife in Cuba, the nightlife in Havana, check out Calle 23. That's where all the clubs and bars are. Calle 23. Now, if you're looking for more of the upscale spot, then you got to go out to Miramar. Did you guys hit up Miramar area?
No, we didn't go over there. We're still stuck on 23 because you know what? Our success was 100%.
Yeah. Calle 23, man. That's an area where, bro, you just go there, post up, and have a great time. And one thing I did too, I didn't tell you, Solo, I brought 4 bottles of Jack Daniel Fire to Cuba.
Nice.
And we invited some guests to come over back to our spot, and they never had whiskey before. They never had fire whiskey before. This is 2017. Man, when I say they got toned the F up, man, drinking whiskey, it was crazy.
So this was the bar that we went to, the VS bar, and this is where we were just having a good time. Like I love the live music as well. I just love just the music in general, and people was just lit there. And of course, we went on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And one thing I'm gonna say for those of you that is looking to go there or go to the clubs, if you go early, you don't have to pay to go in. However, if you have to pay, you usually have to buy a table. And
it's not expensive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna say. It's only about $50 to buy a bottle. So, I'm sure you can spare $50. So when we got to the door, the bouncer was like, "No, you can't come in unless you buy a table." And I was like, "Okay, cool." But my boy, he stepped away. He was like, "Oh no, we ain't about to go do that." Whatever. I looked at him like, "Hold on, homie. Ask her how much it is. I'm sure it ain't nothing." And I'm like, "I don't care. I'm gonna pay for it because we about to come up in here." So then we found out it's about $50. I'm like, "Yo, let's do this."
Solo, we bought a bottle of Havana rum. This is 2017 for $30. We had a table. We had a nice section area. Listen, guys, I'm 45 years old. I'm not standing up all day. No, sir. I'm gonna get me a damn table. All right, we're gonna buy a bottle. I'll buy the bottle. Because guess what? By you buying that bottle, it draws attention to you, the right attention. And it's just like, ain't no need for you to be standing up at the bar. Like, no, dude, get the section, get the get the table VIP and have a good time. Bring the party to you.
I'm gonna say this: stay away from the actual VIP, away from the dance floor. Don't go for that. Every time I've like in Mexico, even here in Cuba, Colombia, as long as I'm near the dance floor and have a table, it is so easy to get women. If you're up there in VIP, it's harder for you to get women to come dance with you and so forth because you're away from everything. So that's my one advice I could tell you. Because I remember one night I was in Mexico. I was in Nogales. Yo, I was getting women out from the VIP area to come dance with me. They're coming down. I'll dance with women like all over the club, and they're trying to give me their number and everything. After we're done, I'll just grabbing women, left and right. So I'm just saying, if you want a table, get a nice table, but you don't have to do the high expensive VIP. Just do something nice, and just, as long as you're near the dance floor, and make sure you dance. Latin America, you gotta dance.
Yeah.
If you want attention from women, make sure you dance. That's the biggest thing I can tell you.
I'll say this: dance and smile, guys. It doesn't hurt for you to smile. Smile, guys. Like I've gotten so much attention just smiling. Hola, como está? Hermosa, ven aquí. Like, and smiling, and just being smooth with it. Man, dude, it's too easy. It's too easy, man.
Yeah. I'm sure it's extremely easy for you. You like a linebacker. It doesn't even person, man.
Yeah. I mean, but still though, man, it's just like people don't realize, like, when you smile, it kind of drops your guard down. And you know what? They realize, hey, you trying to have a good time. So let's have a good time. You want some drinks? Like, guys, don't be afraid to buy a table, a round of shots. Like, I do that. Because when you look at the bill, it's like, what, $10? That's it. It's like, okay, I'll buy the whole table shots. Let's all take a shot.
Yeah, because you ain't in the States.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a picture of me and you from when we were in Cartagena.
Oh, wow. Shit. But
here. I don't
yeah, man, guys, go to Cuba. I highly recommend it. If you could go, enjoy yourself, do your research, do a couple of tours, and go out there with an open mind. Don't go there thinking that it's Colombia, it's Brazil, it's Dominican Republic, or Costa Rica. Cuba is Cuba. There's no comparison. Go out there, show up, have a great time, enjoy yourself.
Nice. Hey, I got this picture from Rob's wedding. It's not the original one from us being out on the street, but this is a nice picture. And I'm gonna highlight this only because of the fact that a lot of people, especially these groups, they talk about that for you to get married or for you to have a relationship, that's like a simp move. But I think that's a graduation, because after you done play the field, after you done had so much fun, you want to get to the step in life, because you want to think about it. Who's gonna be there to help you out when you get old? Who's gonna make sure that your health is good when you get older? So I'm glad that I'm married, because my wife actually found a health situation that I'm going through because of the fact that she's with me every single day. And she put me on to this situation because I wouldn't know, because I'm sleeping and I don't even notice it. I don't know if this is going on.
Wow.
So I would say that, if you're with a person, a partner, whatever, they will look out for you. But I'm going to share this here. Now, don't get mad at me, man. But
yeah, I dropped a lot of weight from that, boy. Yeah, that was a good times, man.
Yeah, we're having a good time at the at Rob's wedding, man. And
yeah.
the trip.
Oh man. Yeah, good times, man. Good time. That's the thing about traveling, man. Traveling, actually, you meet some interesting, great people out there, man. Make new friends, and it's just like, man, you meet guys who kind of on the same level as you, and you just want to just get better and just go out there and see the world.
Have a good time, man. It's life. Enjoy life, and of course, it all starts because of the fact that we've actually became successful in our life, in our daily life, to be able to get to this step. Because I know a lot of people like to, try to travel where they're not even fully established in their life and not in a career or not in a good situation. A lot of times I tell brothers, you should wait, because once you become fully established, your traveling becomes to be a whole different experience, and it's actually great. So instead of trying to nickel and dime while you're out there, in these different countries, whatever, and being afraid that you might get stuck, you got your stuff in order.
A perfect example is me. I decided to take a step back from traveling, focus on my business, focus on, networking. So money that I could have easily used to go to Portugal, Africa, Thailand, whatever, I'm allocating those dollars towards conferences and networking events. Guys, you got to invest in yourself if you want to put yourself in a certain position where you can see the world. Don't travel the world being broke. If it means you have to delay gratification for now, Go ahead and do that. Invest in yourself. Put yourself in a position to win so you can continue to win for the next 10, 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah. Give it up for that. Same here with myself. I took about 6 months off to focus on my real estate business. Now, if I wasn't traveling much within those 6 months, because I felt that for me to take a step back, it was better for me, so that in the long run, it will give me, I'll be able to reach the goal that I'm looking to reach, which is I want to leave the United States in the next 7 to 10 years, and I'm not coming back. So I want to make sure I'm not coming back. So that's why I'm building what I can, so that when I leave, I don't have to come back and be like, oh man, I got to re-up some money or anything like that, because I want to keep that money flowing. The dollar. Yeah. Very important.
Definitely.
Yeah, so sorry that we done that whole tangent, but let's get back to Cuba.
You know what? We need to have these type of conversations. These conversations are not being had. Guys, you can still go out and enjoy the world, but take care of business at home.
Yep, which is facts.
Facts, no pincer.
You know, and it's very important, you know. But like I was saying with Cuba, is that yo, you will have a good time if how you make it. You know, your money and you know, everything's pretty cheap out there.
It is.
Just don't go out there acting a fool, trying to run up the prices or trying to make it look like you have money. I mean, that's kind of silly for you to do that stuff. Just blend in, do what the locals are doing. You ain't got to be flashy. You ain't got to be purchasing bottles after bottles after bottles trying to impress women, because that don't really impress them. They enjoy it.
They enjoy it. That's the thing. They'll enjoy it, but the thing is, at the end of the day, it's all about the vibes that you bring. If you bring that vibe that, hey, I'm here to learn and have a good time, dude, that's going to attract nothing but beautiful people around you. That's how it is. You don't need to carry Louis Vuitton belt, you know, jewelry on, all that. Listen, you don't need all that. Just show up, smile, have a good time, you know, bring at least a decent cologne and smell good and go out and enjoy yourself.
Oh, yeah. They love that. Cubanas, yeah, they love when you have cologne.
But, look, hey, Solo, when I tell you, man, I was there for 7 days, man. Man, dude, it was a workout. It was a workout, man. I did some things. I'm like, whoa, thank you. I got some stories to tell.
And there's a lot of flaquitas out there, you know, a lot of skinny girl, real nice, you know, women out there. Cause a lot of times they go to the club, to the disco and dance. So you're gonna find a lot of skinny girls, which is a good thing. You know, for those of you that are like, you know, the chubby chaser, whatever, there's a few out there, you know.
But you gotta find too much like that.
What was that?
Yeah, no, I said that you're not gonna find that body type too much. It's more the athletic build, slim look, but they still got a butt on them. Don't get it twisted.
Yep, needs to have a nice body, man. You know, so if you like that, you will have a good time. So my boy, matter of fact, I share his picture with this one girl that he had with him. This is basically typical what you will see out there. Just like the girl you guys saw, you know, dancing in the video. This is another picture here. When I'm gonna cue this up here. Let me share my screen so you guys can see what's going on. You know, so you'll see stuff like that, you know, and of course, you know, they'll say that, you know, like I said, from the other guy comment, he's saying that, you know, they only like European guys. Nah, even this girl here, which is a bit, you know, on the lighter side, she was telling us that she loved negros. That's what she loves. She loved black guys. So, you know, to think that, you know, they only want European, whatever, nah, that ain't the case. I've always had play every countries I've been to, doesn't matter, Cuba, DR, you know, Mexico or whatever, you know, even Nicaragua. So it doesn't matter. It don't matter where you at. You know, I know that there's always that stigma of people saying that they're racist all these other countries, that they don't really care for black men. Nah, that whole stuff is false.
It's false. It's false, man. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. Are there gonna be some closed-minded people out there? Are there gonna be some racist people, some prejudice? Yeah, that's every country you go to. Mm-hmm. Even the black countries, you're gonna experience that. But to say that the whole country is like that is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as the States. So no matter where you go to, you're gonna have those pockets of people that just want to be just with people, you know, of their own. I mean, it is what it is. We even got black people that are like that as well. You know, So there's black people that say they don't want to deal with white people or any other type of culture. So it's the same thing across the globe.
I had a great time, guys. I don't know what this guy's saying. Words are weapons, whatever. Look, guys, don't close yourself any opportunity to go to Cuba. I highly recommend it. Flyboy actually been out there as well.
Yep.
Look, Cuba is a sleeping gem. It's a lot of
Yo.
stuff to do and see out there, man. I just told my guys to go out there to Cuba. They went there and had a great time. Guys, go out there and see the world for what it is, man. Don't be led by just one thing. Go out there, experience the culture, the food, the people, and go out there and party, have a good time. People love positive energy. You go there with that sorry ass energy, then yeah, you're gonna get that sorry ass results.
Yep, that's fact.
Facts, no offensive.
Yeah, Flyboy. Wait, he said I definitely found the place where the thick ones hang out. As you said, not too many, but man, oh man, LM is where it's at. So that's good, man. Oh man, yeah, I can't do the thick ones or the big ones, man. I look at it as this, since the United States has a population of a lot of big women, thick women, so forth, I prefer to see something different if I leave the United States. So I'm like, what the point? You can stay here and just kick it with what's here. So that's the way I look at it. So for me, that is for me. For those of you that love the thick women and so forth, I'm sure you'll find that. You can find that in Cuba. You'll find that anywhere, DR or wherever you can think of, but it's just not for me. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. You like the athletic type, since you be working out.
Well, it varies, man. One minute I may want something thin, one minute I want something thick. Depends. It's based on my mood for the day.
I know what you mean, man. How it used to be for me in the past. Right now. I can't.
But now I'm at a point. If I find one, I'll probably rock with it for the entire trip. It's just like I'm good.
Yeah, because sometimes it do get tiring. This is when I used to do all that stuff. Going from one to another, trying to find another one. It's like you gotta get to know her and make sure that you guys click. Because sometimes you guys don't really click, and it's like it becomes dry.
Yeah. So it's all good, man. But this is good live, man. It's been an hour.
Live. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start cutting it down, I'm going to keep my lives before an hour.
Yeah, actually, I'm going live tonight to talk about how not to get robbed and shot while overseas. I'm not sure if you've seen that video of the guy getting shot in the face in Colombia.
Yeah. So you shared it in your group. Hey,
yeah.
Give us a little information about that, about the
live.
I mean,
based on the video, the guys, the moto guys, they pull up at this restaurant or bar, and they were just standing there watching this guy. They were literally observing him for a good 3 to 5 seconds. Then the guy pull out a gun, shot in the air, try to pull the guy's phone. The guy fought back and he shot him in the face.
Oh man, yeah, you see that happen from time to time in Colombia, and that's one thing. I know that people are saying that, oh my God, they're robbing tourists. Well, they robbed their own too. They've been robbing their own for a long time. So, don't think that we're just the only ones getting robbed. I can tell you, my wife, she been robbed. My mother-in-law, she been robbed. People been robbed. So it don't matter. If you're a sitting duck, you're gonna get robbed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, but hey, do you have anything extra you want to see on Cuba before we end this?
No. I think I shared a lot of PG content. I can't show all the X-rated stuff, but like I said, I mean, what Solo mentioned, guys, go there with open mind. Do not go there comparing Cuba to Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, or any other country. Go there and enjoy the experience. Not too people could say that they've been to Cuba. And when you can say that I've been to Cuba and you had a great time, that makes you stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Yep, that's facts.
Facts, no offensive.
Yep. So, but hey, man, I gotta thank you for being on here, man, for coming.
No problem, man. I'm always willing to give a helping hand.
As always, man. Yeah, we gotta do something soon. Again, I don't know what the subject, but it's pretty hard for me to do these lives.
No, it's all good, man. Like you have amazing platform. You and a few other guys. You basically giving guys real information that's being needed, and I appreciate that. So if I could chime in wherever I can, I'll do that.
Yep, same here, man. Definitely enjoy your platform as well. For those of you that know, man, he has the realest platform I could tell you. It's all about men's health. Talking about things that you need to know. Keep yourself in order, and the real information that could help you. None of this extra stuff that a lot of people are attracted to, such as drama or all that craziness. No, he just give you the stuff that you need.
And the crazy thing is, like, I tell guys, listen, I got receipts, bro. It's just my receipts are not YouTube friendly. It's not Facebook friendly. It's like, hey, you want to call yourself receipts? Hey, I got them. But it is what it is, man.
Give it up to you.
Definitely, man. Hey, thank you for inviting me to your platform to talk about Cuba. It was a great experience, and definitely looking forward to going back one day. Maybe I could travel with you one day to Cuba.
I'll be back probably the next 3 or 4 months or so. I'm going back. So I gotta go back and some, man. I just love the nightlife. I love the dance. So
all right. Well, hey, man, it was a pleasure, man. Definitely, I got to get ready for my podcast tonight at 10:30. If you guys want to hear something interesting tonight, check out Black Man Travels, and it's gonna be a lot of fun and a lot of real talk conversation.
Awesome, man. Give it up, man. And thanks, man. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. I'm going ahead and close this. Catch you later. So as I'm saying, man, hey, you guys definitely got to go to Cuba. For those of you that are looking to experience something different, this is not for those of you that are looking just to, you know how it is, be the passport pookie, whatever, or fly by night type of guy. This is for those that want to enjoy themselves and engulf themselves, and immerse themselves in culture and so forth. So that's what Cuba is for that type of experience. So I also want to let you guys know that, hey, I'm continue dropping these videos every single day. So look out for these new videos. I just dropped one right before this live, so go check that video out. And of course, the person who actually dropped the video of Joanne. So I'm actually going to do a live with her sometime next week. So I gotta set that up. I'm believing we're going to meet up on Monday. So I'll let y'all know what's up with that real soon. You guys will see something in the near future. So without any further ado, once again, I want to thank my guest and thank you all for even being here with me. So, of course, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to this content. Help a brother out, and I appreciate everything. Yo, I'm out.